You know, I swear if like teachers put kids in prayer corners instead of timeout corners, we would have a lot of saints by now. Just saying. Or maybe don't use prayer as a punishment, but you know what I mean? Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Amber Rose, also known as the Religious Hippie. You can basically follow me on any social media platform, or you can go straight to my website at thereligioushippie.com. So today's video has been very anticipated. I know you guys have been asking for this video for quite a long time, and I'm finally getting around to do it. And that is how to create your own prayer corner. I think this is really vital as Catholics to have a prayer corner in our house. And even if you're not Catholic, have a prayer corner in your house. So with all of that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing we're going to go over in today's video is what is a prayer corner? A prayer corner is a special place in our home where we can go and spend time with God. We can sit in our prayer corner and we can pray a rosary, we can do some spiritual reading, or we can just sit and pray mentally with God. A prayer corner is a dedicated, sacred place to pray. What I mean by sacred is that it's set apart from the rest of your house. It's specifically meant to be a place where you worship God and you pray. I personally love using my prayer corner in the morning when I first wake up. It's the first thing I see, and so I'm able to get up and remind myself to pray. And so I sit in my rocking chair in my prayer corner, and I'll usually say my morning offering or a Divine Mercy chaplet. It really just helps me keep God at the forefront of my mind throughout the day, and it also offers an escape for me when maybe the day gets a little bit too overwhelming and I just need a break. I need to spend some time with God, but I can't really go to an adoration chapel or to Mass, and so my prayer corner acts as a very good sacred area where I can decompress. So now that we got what a prayer corner is out of the way, now we're going to go into how to create one. The first thing you want to do is you want to pick a part of the house that you want to have your prayer corner in. I personally always suggest that you have a public prayer corner, so one you might have in your living room where the whole family can participate and kind of engage in the prayer corner, and also a private one, maybe in your bedroom or set aside in a closet somewhere where you can actually just go and decompress without other people around. However, I know that that can be tricky, especially if you're a parent, and so usually if you're a parent, I suggest having the public one because then you can help the kids get involved, you can pray the rosary together. It can be a really fun family event, but I also know that parents really need some alone time, and I also love my alone time, so having a private prayer corner might also be an option for you, but if you don't have a house big enough to do both, one or the other is perfectly fine. Just having a prayer corner is important. My prayer corner is in my bedroom. I personally love having natural light in my prayer corner. It just really helps me focus and I feel more refreshed as opposed to having artificial light. Once you have an area in your house picked out to have the prayer corner, take a piece of paper and draw a picture of how you would like your prayer corner to look. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to be an art major, but just kind of pencil out an idea of what you want. Do you want a chair in the corner? Do you want a bookshelf, a coffee table? What kind of artwork are you going to have on the walls, if any? Are you going to have rosaries there? Just kind of plan out what you want it to look like. For example, your prayer corner could have icons or images. They could have Catholic statues, rosaries, sacramentals, such as holy water or holy salt, holy oil. You could have a bunch of Catholic books, a Bible. Also make sure you have some sort of note-taking supply, such as pens and pencils, sticky notes. These just kind of help you in case there's a specific prayer or intention that comes to mind. You can write things down, put it in your prayer journal. It also helps you just kind of stay focused during prayer. If other thoughts kind of pop into your head, you can write them down so you won't forget them, but then you can set them aside and you can really focus on your prayer. A lot of time when I am in my prayer corner, what ends up happening is I have a bunch of thoughts that kind of pop into my head all at once. I'm running my own ministry, I'm at full-time college, I babysit for families, I'm running my own social life, and there's just a lot that's going on. And so when these thoughts pop into my head while I'm in my prayer corner, I will write them down so I don't forget about them, especially if there's like to-do things. But then I put them aside for later and really, make sure that I'm focusing on prayer. I also want to remind you guys to go ahead and get your icons and your pictures and statues blessed. It's very important, but the whole reason we need pictures and icons and all of that is because it reminds us to lift our hearts and our minds to heaven, and it reminds us to pray. We have this saying in Catholicism where icons are the windows into heaven. The icons show you through an image what heaven would look like, but it's also important to realize that that window is also viewing us as well. I also mentioned that you should have sacramentals in your prayer corner. The Catechism of the Catholic Church says that sacramentals are sacred signs instituted by the Church to prepare us to receive the fruit of the sacraments and to sanctify different circumstances of our lives. That was Catechism of the Catholic Church, 1677. The sacramentals that I personally have in my prayer corner are holy oil, holy salt, and holy water. I also have exorcised water. I'm gonna have to do a whole video about that because
what is exercised water? How does water exercise?
You run it. You run water. Water exercises when it runs. Nah. You get it? Because like
I got it.
Now, it's important to remember that the objects themselves do not hold any power, but their sacredness is a channel through which God bestows graces. So these sacramentals can deepen our prayer life by offering us blessings and protection. The next thing you want to figure out is if you want your prayer corner to have a kneeler or a chair. Now, personally, for me, I have really bad knees, and so I don't kneel all that often. When I do, it's usually just for my morning offering. But for the most part, I sit in my rocking chair at home in my prayer corner, and it offers some level of comfort with the rocking motion, and also it just feels very cozy in my corner. So figure out if you want a chair, a bench, a kneeler, a rocking chair. Figure out what you want to do. If possible, it is ideal to have your prayer corner facing east because it's an expression of hope for the second coming of Christ. Therefore, by facing east, we are orienting ourselves towards Christ. It's an ancient practice that even the earliest Christians have done. Fun fact, that's usually also why churches are supposed to be facing east. Yeah. Fun facts with Amber Rose, even though most of these fun facts come from my boyfriend, and I'm just repeating them. Coffee. The third thing you want to do when putting together your prayer corner is to make it your own. Write out some of your favorite prayers on note cards, print out some of your favorite saint quotes and frame them and hang them up. Get some art that really reflects your style and your personality, especially the Catholic art. There's so many different types, there's so much to choose from, and you can definitely make it your style. Something I personally like to do is I like to have a Catholic calendar hanging in my prayer corner so that I can see all of the feast days coming up, what liturgical season we're in, and I also learn about saints that I didn't even know about because usually every single day there is a saint's feast day. This next tip actually comes from Blessed Is She. If you guys don't know who they are, you should check them out. They're really cool. I love them. But they suggested that you should get your prayer corner blessed by a priest. Honestly, have them bless the rest of the house while they're at it. You know, offer to have them over for dinner, cook some spaghetti or whatever, have them bless the house in your prayer corner, have a meal. I used to do that all the time with my family. When we were kids, we would get our house blessed every year. It was really cool, and I highly suggest you guys do that. I also want to emphasize that you should not be spending a ton of money on your prayer corner. You don't have to get really expensive things for them to be nice. I've thrifted so many amazing items for my prayer corner: bookshelves, books themselves, Catholic icons, photos, picture frames, etc. However, I highly recommend that if you get any kind of Catholic icon from a thrift store, Catholic statue, rosary, anything like that, that you go and get them blessed. Because according to some exorcists, Satanists, and a bunch of other Wiccans and whatever, will basically curse the items, put them in the thrift store for Catholics to find, and then it's just not good. So be sure to get any items from a thrift store blessed, and you'll be good. But I definitely want to emphasize that things do not have to be expensive for them to be nice. And the last thing we're going to talk about is, now that you have your prayer corner set up, how are you going to use it? Be sure you're making time every day to use your prayer corner. Actually schedule it into your day. And if you live with a family, encourage them to also use it or even create their own. I actually saw this really cute idea. I forget where I saw it, maybe Pinterest or something. But basically the parents had their prayer corner, but then they let their kids decorate their own prayer corner in the house. And I just thought that was really cool because all the pictures and stuff were kind of hung lower for their kids, and there was like little kid chairs there, and they were like a little kid bookshelf with saint stuff on it. I just thought that was really cute. Even though I don't think you should separate the kids from your own prayer life, maybe it'll inspire them to kind of be more independent in their prayer life, especially if you have younger ones, to kind of have their own little space to pray. And then of course it could still be in view of your prayer corner so they can watch you pray and then you can watch them. I just think that's really cute personally. I don't know, I think that's cute. I usually only use my prayer corner in the morning, afternoon, and evening, but sometimes I am not there in the afternoon or evening, so sometimes I only use it in the morning, but definitely make sure you're scheduling in time to use your prayer corner. Also, already have some prayers planned out that you want to pray in your prayer corner, whether this is your rosary or Divine Mercy chaplet, or you're just sitting there doing some reading. It's really important that we kind of plan ahead on what we want to do in our prayer corner, so when we do have time, we aren't just sitting there twiddling our thumbs. And with all of that being said, guys, that's all I have for this video. Thank you for being patient for this video to come out. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!